On behalf of the organizing committees, I'd like to extend our sincerest thanks to all of the speakers, facilitators, secretaries, and especially all the participants for arranging your very precious time to attend our webinar today. My name is Đỗ Thị Phương Mai, and I'm from Hanoi National University of Education. I am one of the members of the organizing committee and the leader of K-12 PD group in 2021. In today's webinar, I will be our moderator, and joining webinar 13 today with me is Ms. Vũ Thùy Hương from Thăng Long High School for Gifted Students from Đà Lạt, and Ms. Hồ Thị Hiền, the secretary from Industrial University of Ho Chi Minh City. So hello, Ms. Hương Vũ and Ms. Hiền Hồ. Can you say hello to everyone?
Hello, everyone. Very nice to meet
everyone. Ho Chi Minh City. Yeah. Thank you very much for you two to be the secretaries of our webinar today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce about our Việt Digital Association. So, Việt Digital Association is a non-governmental organization with a mission of connecting teachers and engaging communities. It offers professional development opportunities, including annual Việt Digital International Convention for members and public. You can visit Việt Digital at the website or the fan page as can be shown on the screen. Việt Digital provide the public with a lot of activities in which there are three groups of activity. The first one is the K-12 PD webinars as one of the things that we have today. And the second one is the Việt Digital Masses Open Online Courses, and especially the Việt Digital International Convention, which is held every year. So if you are interested in such kind of activities, please visit our website for further information. Now, let me introduce more about our webinar series for those who don't know. There are four main themes of the series of the PD webinars, namely English language teaching or ELT methodologies, using information and communication technology or ICT in ELT, testing and assessment, and professional development. So far, we have conducted 12 webinars on those mentioned themes, and today is the 13th and the last webinar of 2021. All of the information, the contents, and the recordings of these 12 webinars, and also this the 13th webinar, can be found and downloaded from the webinar forum at the Việt Digital website, as I have shown you at the beginning. So this brings me nicely with the introduction about the webinar 13 today, entitled The New Curriculum, New Textbook, Does Systemic Functional Language Genre-Based Pedagogy Have? Before we kick off the webinar, I'd like to make some important announcements. After participating in the 19-minute webinar, participants can receive an electronic certificate. At the end of the session, we will provide you with a short quiz for the participants to verify the attendance at the webinar. And based on the results of the quiz, the participants will receive an email with an electronic certificate. And also, after each live webinar, the sharing materials and the recordings will be available on the Việt Digital Association website, as I mentioned earlier. So if the participants have any questions, please keep the questions until the Q&A sessions, or you can feel free to type in the chat box. Our secretaries, Ms. Hương Vũ and Ms. Hiền Hồ, will keep a record of the questions and send them to the speaker and facilitators to address in the Q&A session. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to keep you to wait for such a long time anymore. And now it is my honor to introduce our special speaker today, Dr. Nguyễn Thị Hương Lan, one of my colleagues from Hanoi National University of Education. Dr. Hương Lan is a senior lecturer in English and English curriculum and pedagogy at Hanoi National University of Education. Her PhD explores the evaluative languages in Vietnamese and English textbooks at primary school level using the SFL framework and appraisal theory. And as you can see, it is also the topic of the today's presentation. She was a visiting scholar at the University of Sydney, Australia, under the Endowment Research Fellowship in 2018. Her research interest includes the SFL, English, literacy, theater, and languages education, writing development through genre-based pedagogy. So now let's welcome and hello, Dr. Hương Lan.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, so Dr. Hương Lan, thank you very much for spending your time attending this webinar. So now the floor is for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So let me share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mai, for your kind introduction. And good morning, everybody. Welcome you all to our webinar today with the topic, New Curriculum, New Textbook, Does SFL Genre-Based Pedagogy Help? So let me now know a little bit about you, please. In the chat box, please tell me the place you come from. Everybody? Yeah. Ho Chi Minh City, Hanoi, yes. Thái Nguyên, all right. A lot of people from Hanoi. Bắc Ninh, yes. Lạng Sơn, Nam Định, oh, yes. Đắk Lắk, yeah. Ho Chi Minh City, Quảng Nam, all right. Lào Cai, yes. Cần Thơ, Hải Phòng, Thái Bình, Phú Thọ, yes. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So you come from many parts of Vietnam. Yeah, fantastic. So the next question, please. How many years have you been teaching? 9 years, yeah. Oh, 28 years, yeah. 8 years, 6 years, okay. All right. Yeah. All right, so we have novice teachers and also experienced teachers in our webinar today. Yes, all right. The next one, the question related to our webinar today. Do you find teaching new textbook challenging? Yes or no? Yes, should be, yes. Or maybe not sure, yeah, to some extent, yes. Challenging and exciting, oh Christ, yeah. Okay, yes, some of you say the new textbook next year, yeah, okay, so it may be a good preparation for you. Lots of things to teach, but interesting, all right, yes, all right, thank you so much. So now let's move on with a warm-up activity. Now, look at the picture. Imagine you are in USA. Please put this picture into words. And how many expressions can you think of? Keep silent. Keep quiet. It is dangerous. Keep silent, please. What else? Don't talk. Yes. Stay silent. Keep secret. Be serious. What else? All right. So you can see that with one picture, with this picture, we have a number of choices. And here are some of the expression. Look at situation 1. What do you think? Where does it happen? And then for situation number 2 and number 3 and number 4. Now, for situation number 1, what do you think? It may be in the classroom. So how the teacher talk to the student? Yes, he may say, be quiet. All right. And for the second situation, it is in the library. And how and who say this? So maybe the librarian talk to the noisy students. Yes, he reminds them that this is a silent area. Or in the situation down there, what do you think? Maybe the 2 young peoples are quarreling and they don't want to listen to each other anymore. And the boy may shout at the girl, shut up. Okay, so very different way to express this picture. And the last one, it is on the plane and the air hostess talk to the passenger. Yes, and you can say, could you please be quiet? So she talked to the passenger in a polite way. So this leads me to the question that, which expression do you choose in similar scenario? And it depends on what? Now, please, in the chat box, tell me. Yes, context, yes, situations. What else? Yes. All right. Many one say context, and Miss Thúy, yes, say context. For example, the job environment. Yes. What else? And situation. Yes. Miss Chang say people we talk to. Yes. So context, situation, people you talk to. Yes. All right. So the expression or the language you choose depends on context in a specific culture and a social communication. And this leads me to the focus of the webinar today. There are 2 main parts in my presentation. The first one, I'm going to introduce to you the SFL, or Systemic Functional Linguistics Theory, including SFL and genre theory and appraisal theory. And after you've got an understanding about the theory, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guidelines of how to apply SFL into practice with the 2 stages: before you teach and why you teach. All right, so let's start. So SFL theory focuses on understanding and explaining how language enables writers to do things in everyday life to achieve their writing purposes. It also focuses on interrelationship between language and context and how the language is used to achieve in a particular context. And this is Modeling Language in Context by Martin, 1992. And I'm going to explain in detail this model in the next few minutes. All right, so the first point I'd like to make is language is a resource for making meaning. So why I say so? Now, please take a few seconds to look at the model, please. All right, so when we communicate, we need to organize the sounds in here and the symbols. And it is phonology and graphology in the smallest circle in Martin's model. And you also need to have the vocabulary related to the topic and the grammatical structures, like in this table. Yes. So it refers to the second circle of the model. It is lexical grammar. Is that enough? No, it is not enough. You also need to have the knowledge of the meaning beyond the clause. What is it? It is the discourse semantics level or stratum. For example, if you want to inform something, it is an information text or a factual text. And in factual text, it can be divided into subtypes, like the explanation. When you talk or you write about the causes and effect. And then look at the example from the text below. Miss Hiền, please, could you please put the sample text in the chat box?
Handout 1, Miss Last.
Handout 1, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm sending the handout 1 in the chat box. Please download it.
Yes. You will use this handout a number of times during this webinar. So please download it. All right, so now you can read the text on the screen, and you also need to download the text from the chat box. And my question now is, can you find the components of language illustrated in the textbook? The first level, phonology and graphology. Second, vocabulary. Third, grammar and text organization. All right, so in this sample text, you can see you should take out the words that you think it is a new vocabulary to your student. This is an example of the phonology and graphology. It means how the word is pronounced and how it is spelled. And in terms of vocabulary, you should select the ones that are related to the topic, like these words. And for the grammar, you may notice that the present simple is used in this text. And for the text organization, you can see the theme structure with a dentist, and then he in the second sentence refer to dentist, and then a dentist again. Dentist is repeated in sentence 3 and sentence 4. So it is the structure you can notice from this sample text. And then let's move on with what we call metafunction. What is it? So within SFL, language comprises 3 kinds of meaning: ideational meaning, interpersonal meaning, and textual meaning. And these meanings are labeled as metafunctions. So I will explain one by one for you. Now, the first one, language is used to construe experiences, to describe events. And in doing this, language is said to have an ideational function here. And the second, language users also interact. What they do, for example, they want to express opinions and attitude. In this way, language is said to serve interpersonal function. And finally, language is used to organize messages. It is used to organize the ideational and interpersonal meaning, and it can make coherent across the text. And language in this way is set to serve the textual function. So from this, when you work with the sample text, you ask the student to answer 3 questions. Now, look again at the dentist text and tell me what is the main ideas of the text. So it is an ideational meaning. Second, who is the audience? And who the author tries to communicate with. It is interpersonal meaning. And the last one, can we find similar text that does the same function of this text, such as describing a teacher or describing a photographer? Okay, so 1 second for you to think about that. All right, so language also has a relationship with context in a culture, which result in a genre. Okay, so I will explain now. So as mentioned earlier, the SFL theory focuses on the interrelationship between language and its context of use. So the context which influences our language use includes the context of situation, and context of culture. So context of situation, the smaller circle here, it is the immediate situation in which language occurs, and it is labeled as register. And language of culture is broader context, and Martin labeled it as the genre. So I will explain one by one right now. So the context of situation is specified with respect to field, tenor, and mode. So what is field? Fields is about the topic or the content of the text. And tenor refers to people involved in the communication and their relationship. And mode, it is the channel of communication, like spoken or written form. So again, look at the dentist text and please analyze the register with 3 variables, please. What about the field, mode, and tenor? Where can you see this kind of text? In which scenario or context? Who is the author? Who is the audience, do you think? And the text is written or spoken. Okay, so 30 seconds for you. All right, so let's do together. So the field refers to generalized participant. And in this case, it is a dentist, about a dentist. Tenor, so it may be, this is in the science subject, and the writer may be the scientist, and the reader may be the student at the primary or secondary school. So the writer and the reader do not know each other, and it is a neutral tenor. And mode, it is a very carefully constructed and organized. So it is maybe a written text. Yes, and apart from the context of situation, it is also the context of culture or genre that shape our language use. And Halliday and Hassan, 1985, defined that genre is a totality or a package. And I let you have 30 seconds again to read the definition here. So you can see the keywords in line 3. Okay, it is not a random jumble of feature, but a totality or a package. And my question now is, will we describe a dentist the same way or different ways in Vietnamese culture? So please, in the chat box, tell me same or different. I repeat the question. Will we describe a dentist or a doctor the same way or different ways in Vietnamese culture? Yes, I can see some responses. Yeah, very nice. Yes, okay. Yes, we have a different answers. Yes, some say same, some say different. Yes, what do you think? S or D? S or D? Now, the number is equal. Some say different, some say same. All right, so in order to answer this question, Ms. Hiền, please, could you please put an example of Vietnamese description about a doctor in the chat box? Yes, and we will see same or different. Okay, so I let you have 30 seconds to download or open the sample text in Vietnamese. Okay, so do you want to change your mind now when you read the Vietnamese text? Because of time limit, I cannot make a detailed analysis, but the answer is different. Okay, so the way we describe in Vietnamese is different from the way we describe a doctor or a dentist in English. And this is culture or genre in SFL term. That's why when the student write in English, they need to have the knowledge of the genre or the context of culture. Yes. So again, when we talk about genre, what we need to understand. Yes, I'd like to show this model again. So we need to understand what? We need to understand both language element, yes, down there, and the context that the language is used as well. So here, everything put together. So it is the modeling language in context by Martin, 1992. Now let's move on with appraisal theory. What is it? Where is it in the SFL model? So appraisal is an interpersonal system within the SFL model. So in previous part, I've talked about 3 functions or 3 systems, and appraisal is an interpersonal system. How and why we say it is an interpersonal system? Because it describes the language of evaluation in the discourse semantic stratum. You give evaluation or opinions or attitude about people and things. And it is realized through evaluative lexis and grammar at the level of lexical grammar. And look at the model here, the system here. Appraisal is divided into 3 main categories: engagement, attitude, and graduation. And in this presentation, I recommend you understand about attitude and graduation only. So for attitude, yes, attitude, the resources under attitude can convey both positive or negative meaning. The first type of attitude, it is affect, telling personal feelings, like in this example. The thing I dislike is that it is very far from my house. So dislikes in this instance carry negative meaning. And the second type of attitude, it is judgment. Judgment is employed to appraise human behavior. Now, let's look at this example. This example is taken from grade 7 students writing. Our teachers are very friendly, supportive, and kind to us. So in this sentence, the judgment carry the positive meaning. And appreciation looks at the resources for evaluation of things or phenomenon. For example, the school is modern and clean with many tall old trees. And for the attitude, we can adjust the attitude by using graduation. So let's look at this example in here. The classroom is very nice and fully equipped. So in this example, very and fully are used to grade the student's attitude to the classroom. And lastly, the graduation is also concerned with the resources that quantify the amount, extent, time, frequency, or space. Like in this example, I sometimes come back to my hometown and visit my school. So sometimes in this example is the graduation of frequency. Now, a quick recap, please. What have we known about SFL and genre theory so far? So in the chat box, please put the 3 keywords that you can remember so far. Yes. Some keywords, please. Attitude, yes, well done. What else? Culture, yes, thank you. Competence, yes. Attitude, graduation, language, context. Thank you, Miss Mỹ Phương. Yes, great. Yes, very important word. What else? Attitude. Yes, culture. Yes, interpersonal. Yes. All right, thank you so much. And now let's move on. So to sum up, genre consider overall text organization. Overall, it means everything, like in the model in the previous section I show you, and its purpose. Genre are staged, goal-oriented, and social processes. Stage because it usually takes us more than one phase of meaning to work through a genre. goal-oriented because unfolding phases are designed to accomplish something. And social because we undertake genre interactively with others and express our attitude through it. So no worry, I'm going to demonstrate this point later on. Now, before we continue, let's do a survey. And Miss Hiền, please help me to put the link of the survey in the chat box. And
is that handout free, Miss Lan?
Yeah, just the link. Yes, just the link for them to give the responses. So my question is, what are the genre or text type in the textbook you are teaching? And please put your responses in the Google Doc that Miss Hiền will provide you with the link in the chat box. So everybody click the link. Yes. Yes. So you can say yes or no, or you are not sure. Description, yes or no. Information report, procedure, recount, explanation. Yes, I can see a lot of heart to me. Yeah. Yes. Someone say not sure. Yes, it doesn't matter. You are not sure. Yes. I can, yes, give you the guidelines after this. So please let me know. What are the genre or textile you are teaching? A lot of yes. Okay, no one say no. Miss Hiền, could you please scroll down to see? Yeah. Okay, all right, thank you. So let me, yes, all right. Thank you. So I've got an overview now. Let me share my screen again. Yes, so my question is, how do you know? How do you know this text is descriptive or information or procedure? Yes, so we will continue with the second part. I think it is practical to you. It is applying SFL into practice. So let's start with the before you teach stage. I've asked the question, how do you know? So this, I say, the magic table will provide you with the ideas of saying what genre or what text type it is. So you may take a snapshot, or I may later on send you this magic table. Yes. And in the chat box, please tell me again what genre it is. Description. Okay, description. Any other ideas? Explanation, why not? Yes. Factual text. Judgment, yes. Okay, we have a number of ideas. Yes. So in order to answer this question, you need to ask the student to answer 3 questions. What is purpose of the text? How many parts are there? And in Martin's term, it is how many stages, but I change it into parts for you to understand, to easily understand. So how many parts are there, or how many stages are there? And what is the goal of each part or each stage? So the purpose of the text is to tell you about the dentist, of course. And there are 2 parts in the text. Part 1, identify the person you want to describe. And part 2, you describe that person. So you map into this table, this figure, and you say, this is a descriptive text. You are right. So it is a descriptive text or a description. So from that, we'll talk about the genre-based approach. What is it? It is explicit teaching about features of text. What type of text? The particular text which dominate in schools and societies. It means first you look at the textbook you are teaching and see which text dominate or which text appear in the textbooks or in the curriculum. So this approach, I argue that, may work in Vietnamese context with the scheme of one curriculum, multiple textbook. Why? Because the teachers can explicitly provide equal chances to all the students to understand how a genre works. And for students, they become independent and competent writer. And for the why you teach, what do you do? I would like to introduce to you the literacy development cycle by Rosary 1994 with the 3 main stages in class. It is deconstruction stage, joint construction stage, and independent construction stage. Okay, and I will go one by one right now. First, for the deconstruction stage, what do we do? So for the deconstruction stage, teacher make explicit to the students the generic staging and key linguistic features of the model text. So I make the dentist text as the model in the previous section. And because that goes, so look at the photo, the pictures in here. You can see the teacher act as a facilitator. So in this deconstruction, the teacher do the task. I here, it means the teacher. Now, what about the second stage? Joy construction. So joy here, you may guess. So the students and teachers writing a new text together using patterns from the model text. And in this stage, we do it. It means the student and the teacher. And the question now is how we can do it. The first step, you and the student read in more details to identify highlighted words and make notes. The second step, the student take turns being the scribe to transfer the note onto the board. And the third step, they write sentences from the notes. And I will explain in more detail how to play the role of the scribe. So you look at the pictures in here. So you can see the student is acting as a scribe. And what does she do? Yes. If you are the scribe, you only write the words that your classmates tell you to write. So she does not write on her own, but she listens to the classmate and writes the word that her classmates tell her to write. Second, it is the beneficial of the activity. So this is a great time to practice some spelling, both the classmates and the scribe. So when you are scribe, you sometimes ask your classmates to spell a word for you, even if you already know how to spell. Okay, so practice of pronunciation and spelling in this stage. And then the student will work sentence by sentence and make marking each new sentence with a dot point. And it is an example you can see. So this is an example from the note. So you can see the bullet point here from the note. And from the note, the student write and make the sentences on the board. And the last stage, the independent construction. So the students can begin to write independently using patterns practiced together. And in this stage, student, do it. So you can see the scaffolding from the teacher, and then teacher and student, and then student themselves. So now let's move on with the demonstration. So some of you may see this is a unit taken from New Tiếng Anh 6. Yes, and we will work on that as a demonstration. So we start with the first stage, deconstruction. And it is a text the student have to read. So similarly, we need to ask the student about generic structure. So what is the purpose of the text? How many parts are there? And what is the goal of each part? So for number one, purpose. The purpose of the text is to describe Hồ Chí Minh City. How many parts? 2 parts. What is the goal of each part? Number one, identify the place the student has to write about. Hồ Chí Minh City. And then the second part, describe Hồ Chí Minh City in detail. And we call this a descriptive text. Now, let's move on with the joint construction. In this stage, you reinforce the genre, discourse, and grammar feature. What is it? You need to use the grammatical features table developed by Humphrey et al. 2012 with the 4 groups of language. Okay, let's take a quick look and then I will go one by one now. Now, for the first group, language for expressing ideas. You look at the bullet point in the table and then find the instances in the model text. Okay, and in this text, I have already color-coded the instances. For example, relating processes in red is, are, is here. The action processes, visit, now groups, here, shopping malls, buildings, and the adverbial, in this case, adverbials of time, sometimes. For the second group of language, it is language for connecting ideas. So similarly, you follow the framework with the 2 bullet points in here. You find the simple, compound, or some complex sentences in the model text and see how the texts are connected. In this sample text, we have the simple and also compound sentences with and but. And then for the third group of language, it is a language for interaction. And the focus here is the evaluation. Yes, statement expressed as declarative clauses with little evaluation. So here we take from the appraisal framework that I presented before. So language of evaluation include affect, judgment, appreciation, and graduation. And here are the examples in Ho Chi Minh City's text. Yes, graduation in red color, a lot of graduation. Affect, we do not have affect sample here. Judgment, to appraise people's behavior, friendly. Yes, and appreciation in green color. And the last one, language for creating cohesive text. We have some kind of, for example, repetition, subclass, and class and subclass, and whole and part relation. Here you can see Ho Chi Minh is repeated 3 times. Yes, and it refers to Ho Chi Minh City. And we can see Vũng Tàu, Phan Thiết, and Đà Lạt. It is from Vietnam. It is class and subclass relation. All right, so from that, you ask the student to continue detailed reading. How can we do that? For example, let's look at the example I make here on the slide. So again, when you ask the student to read, you may ask the question like, which place is described in the text? Ho Chi Minh City. Where is it in Vietnam? It is in the south. How many people are there in 2019? And then so on. You underline and make question based on the highlighted words. From this, student will, pay attention to the keywords that I have color-coded here. And what do you do with these highlighted words. You ask the student to go on board and scribe the new words, the keywords on board. Here, it is the word on the board. Okay, from the highlighted words you identify before. So from the highlighted word, you see, it is a note on the board, yes, with the rewriting text. It is a sample of the rewriting text from the student. And what you can notice here, the student cannot a perfect text immediately. For example, in this text, they write, Ho Chi Minh City is in south of Vietnam. So what we miss here? We miss the article. And then there are 9,000 people, million people. So it is not an exact number. So students need to put about here. So about here, it is graduation. It means that from the first draft on the board, you and the student, I mean, we revised the text. Okay, that's it. So now it is the time for you to practice. So the secretary, Ms. Hương Vũ, please help me to put the handout in the chat box and help me to break the participant into the appropriate room.
Okay, wait for me for a second.
Mm-hmm. All right, so when you work in breakout Zoom, you will be provided with the sample and the template. So no worry. What you need to do is to, put the information, your ideas, your plan from the new text that I give to you. So we have, how many rooms we have? Miss Hiền Hồ, could you please help me?
Yes. Yeah, so there will be 5 rooms actually. So the primary and the secondary teachers will be split into 2 rooms, and the high school and university teachers will be divided into 2 rooms. And for the teachers who are not assigned to any room, it means you belong to the main session. So you will stay, you will remain in the main session, and you will discuss with Ms. Lan. Okay, Ms. Lan will be the leader of the main session. Thank you. And how many minutes? I mean, how long do we have for the break?
I think 10 minutes.
Yes.
Okay. So we will come back at 10:17, I think.
So Ms. Hương, can you send the link to everyone? I mean the handout. Please send the handout to everyone. Do not send it privately to me. And then now I will start the breakout room. So teachers, you will have 10 minutes and make sure that you download the handout and discuss in 10 minutes.
All right, and Ms. Hương, please share the Padlet.
I did share.
So could you please upload your product onto the Padlet? All right, so for those who have assigned the room, please enter the Zoom, please. Thank you very much. All right, so we have one group in the main section now. So I want to have a leader. So any volunteer, please? Any volunteer, please? I know teachers. Yes. Thầy Đức Thảo ạ, Mr. Đức Thảo. Could you please help me? Are you there?
Ms. Lan, you can ask Mr. Đức Thảo to raise his hand or maybe chat in the chat box.
Okay, it's just out, I think. Or he cannot hear me. Anyone, please volunteer. Miss Đức Thảo, are you there? No?
Okay, I just activate the function which can unmute themselves, so you can.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So it's better for discussion. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Việt. So anyone can be a leader for our main section group, please. What about you, Kiệt, Paul? Are you there? You can unmute yourself now. No? What about Tô Thị Mỹ Phương? Hello.
Yeah, yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you, but actually, I'm not sure that I have the solid knowledge about the theory. So maybe I think other teachers can lead this group. Yeah.
No worry. No worry. So can you download the breakout Zoom handout, Miss Phương?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So please share the handout and work together in the group. Okay. So please open the handout for a primary and secondary school teacher.
I'm sorry, I cannot share the screen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So please, the host, help me to.
All right, so just wait a moment. Miss Tô Thị Mỹ Phương, right? Okay, just wait.
So, Mr. Kiệt, are you there? So you can help with Miss Mỹ Phương.
Okay, that's all right now, Miss Lan.
Yes.
Yeah, wait for a minute. I will share the new screen.
Yes. All right. So now you ask the other participant in the group to support. Yes.
Okay, so for this this kind of test, we have to color the contents on the right of the column into the into the red and green colors here, right, Miss Hương Lan?
Yes. Okay. You identify the language features. Yes, like I did in the presentation. All right. You may ask any among the students to raise their voice. Yes, they have permission to unmute now. Yes.
Okay, so Yeah, so who can, yeah, okay, about relating processes, okay. Wait, I will, okay. Hello teachers, okay, so can you help me to identify the language for expressing ideas for, we have some, for example, we have relating processes, okay, action processes, participants, now groups, and some place, time and manner. So, okay, so okay, so for I will come first for with the relating. Okay, in this case, sorry, with I will.
Yes. We have some yeah responses in the chat. Mỹ Lệ, sorry, Phương.
Yeah, I will make it in number for easier. Yeah. Okay. So teachers, please help me for number 1, relating processes for the verbs, verb groups. Okay. Please, I will type number 1 in the chat box, and can you give me your ideas about relating processes? Okay. I type number 1 in the chat box already, and for. Yay, so for number 3 participants here. Okay, and number 4 for now groups. So please, okay, the teachers, can you give me ideas with the number? Yeah, I will choose the color. Okay, for example, number 1, teachers can, yeah, Miss Hồng Vân, can you tell me visit and grow for number 1, right? Miss Hồng Vân, can you write the number before your ideas, so it's easier for me to color the verbs. Okay. Okay, so other teachers, can you, here for example, I have place. Okay, so Miss Hồng Vân, can you say something? Green, thank you, Miss Hồng Vân. Okay, so I will, yeah, we will have visit. Okay, visit for green. Is leaf grow? Leaf grow. Okay, thank you. Yeah, green. I will color it. Okay. Thank you. Next one, I have, yeah, Cần Thơ, Mekong, and Hậu River for number 3 participants. Thank you. I will color it to Cần Thơ, Mekong, Hậu River. Yeah, we have many. Yeah, thank you. Number 3 is a purple. Thank
Great.
you.
Yeah, Miss Phương. Yeah.
Next one, I can see, okay, red for ease, relating process. Okay, thank you. Okay, how about number 5? We have the blue ones here. Okay, number 5, we have place, time, and manner. Place, time, and manner. Okay. Place, time, and manner. Okay. Yeah, how about number 5? Place, time, and manner. Okay. Yeah, in Miss Hồng Vân, in for place, time, and manner, right? I'm a little confused between the Mekong Delta. Yeah, in the south. Thank you. Okay, in the south. Yeah. Okay, I will make it blue. Thank you. And maybe Vietnam or Vietnam is also the place too, right? Okay. Here I can see, for example, in the south we have in the Mekong Delta. Yeah, below adverbs. Thank you. Below for adverbs. Good for growing, center for yay. Okay, so for some preposition, I can see there are some prepositions. For example, we have in,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
we have in preposition. We
Yes.
have.
Okay, so let's move with the other group of language, please, Mỹ Phương.
Yeah, thank you. I will make it blue now.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So next one for the compounds. Yeah, compound. Yay, for language for connecting ideas. For the compound here, we have, okay. So let's move on to the language for connecting ideas. Okay, how about compound, teachers? 3 lines in the end.
Yeah. Is it?
Okay.
Is it compound?
Is it? Yeah. Miss Hong Vân, do you mention 3 lines in the end here? Farmers grow rice, vegetables. I'm not sure that I understand you totally. Okay. Farmers do fruits. Thank you. And you think it's yeah, okay. We have and it's a, yeah, it's yeah, connecting. Okay, so I will make it blue. Sorry, blue. Okay, and we have and here to connect the ideas. Thank you. Okay, so okay.
Yes, next one, please. What about language?
The next one, yeah, about interaction. Okay, so how about we have interaction, affect, judgment, appreciation. Okay, okay. So teachers, about interactions, do you have any ideas for this one? Maybe I will move. Yeah, beautiful. Yay. Yeah, Miss Xuân, Miss Thanh Xuân, beautiful. What color? Okay, yeah, purple. Okay, we have judgment. Thank you. Okay, so I will make it color for purple. Okay, make it purple. Yeah, beautiful, hot, good. So if yeah, beautiful, yeah. So I think good is also an adjective for judgment, right? Or maybe, or yeah, very lots of red, very. Let me see, very. Yeah, wait for a minute. I will read it again. Very, yeah, very. Graduation. Thank you. Yeah, lots of. Yeah, lots of people. Make it red. Okay, how about appreciation and affect? Yeah, affect and appreciation. Okay, yeah, purple important.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I make it purple. Thank you, Miss Hàng Nga. Okay. Yeah, important. Okay. We do not have the blue and the green purples and the blue and the green colors here. Affect. Okay. Yeah, I wonder if the farmers grow rice affect vegetables and different groups. Are they effects the language of evaluation? Teachers, can you give your ideas about the effect and the appreciation? We do not have the blue and the green here.
It doesn't matter if you misunderstood something in this stage.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Move to the next one. Cohesive devices.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's move to the last one.
Yeah, okay, the last one.
Yes.
Okay, so about the cohesive test here. Okay, so let's do a repetition. Yeah, Miss Xuân, you talk about Cần Thơ and it. Do you mention the cohesive test here, right, Miss Xuân? Yeah, repetition. Thank you. Okay, I will make it maybe gray. Yeah, we have Cần Thơ. We have a lot of Cần Thơ. We have a lot of it here. Okay, so I will make it gray. It's quite. Okay, Cần Thơ it. Yeah, we have lots of it here. I will make it bold for easier. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have Cần Thơ. We have it. Yeah. Yeah, I have done the. Okay, let me see if I miss any words. Okay, yeah, about submit common river. Yeah, okay, Mekong and river. Hậu river, thank you. Mekong Delta and Hậu river here. Yeah, in this. Can I make it the same color, Miss Lat, or may I need to?
Yeah, maybe different color is better. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I will make it. Yeah, this one. Maybe I choose the.
Okay.
This one. Yeah.
If we have some more minutes, let's go back to the here appreciation. I will tell you. So affect, feeling, judgment about people, appreciation about something. So do you want to change your mind now?
So affect about people.
About feeling, judgment about people's behavior.
Okay. So we have behavior here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will put down some words. Okay, a behavior here. Okay, we have affect for feelings, right?
Yes.
Thank you for making it clear, Rose. Okay. Yeah.
So application for something, phenomenon, things.
Something, phenomenon.
Yes. So you can revise it now. Yes, if you want. It doesn't matter. Yes, if you have some wrong at this stage. Yes.
Sorry, about graduation.
It's just the grading, you know, volume. The volume, like very or little or yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, very, yeah, okay. Yeah, so for something like the okay, the level of
the grading.
Yeah,
Yes.
a little, something like that. Okay. So in this case, yeah, graduation we have lots of them very. The graduation. Thank you. Yeah, the volume. Okay. Yeah, I got that word. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thầy Lê Tiệp. Yes, volume.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Lê Tiệp. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So about behavior, maybe we have some kind of, let me see, affect feelings. Okay.
So
for
I
example,
think
we have
I think very good for maybe appreciation.
Yeah, very good for appreciation. Yeah.
So yeah, good. I think it's about appreciation.
Okay, so now you put it in the Padlet link.
Yeah, okay. Yes, I will make it. Okay.
It is going to end the breakout Zoom. So
Hot also appreciation, right?
yes.
Thank you. I will make it. Yeah, hot.
All right. So please put on the Padlet. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I will stop share this one and put it into the Padlet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well
done.
Number. Yeah. Okay. Group number
Very
1.
good job, Miss Mỹ Phương and all the participants. Thank you so much. Yes. So put it in the Padlet, please.
Yeah, I will try to make it in the Padlet for group number 1. Yeah. Thank you, teachers.
Welcome. Yes, you're very active. Thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I will try to. Okay, so I will upload the file.
So please present quickly in the main section after breakout Zoom. Mỹ Phương, please.
Yeah, wait for a minute. I'm trying to put the file into the Padlet. Okay. Okay. I have put the second file, the second file on the Padlet. Can you see that, Miss Lat?
Sorry, what did you say? Say that again, please.
Group number 1, the second file, I'm sorry, edit to, should I give the name?
Yeah. Any name, yeah.
Okay. Teachers, do we need to, okay, put it a name for this one?
Yeah, any interesting name, yeah.
Okay.
Very good job, so yes.
Yeah. Okay, group 1. Okay, I put the name that is G1 TH and THCS.
All right, so
Yeah.
welcome back, everybody. And now it is a time for a brief presentation from the group. Firstly, I'd like to introduce Mỹ Phương group teachers from primary and secondary schools. Please, Mỹ Phương.
Okay, so I will share the screen of the handout or on the tablet.
Share the handout, please.
The handout. Okay, thank you. Okay, I have shared the handout. So Miss Lan, can you see the new screen? Can you
see that? Yeah, I can see.
Yeah. Hello, teachers. Okay, so according to our groups, we have some colors on the right column, and you can see, for example, the relating process here. Okay, for example, the first one, the language for expressing ideas. Our groups decide that we have action processes for is, leave, visit. You can see the green color here, and grow. And for the participants, we decide that Mekong Delta, Hậu River, Cần Thơ belong to this group participants. And okay. And for the second group about the connecting ideas, we decide that farmers grow rice, vegetables, and different groups. As we use the compound now and here to connect the ideas. Okay, and move on to the language for interaction. You can see.
Hai cái này nó màu khác nhau à? Cái này trắng hơn mà cái này trắng.
Yeah, so for the language for interaction, you can see we have graduations with lots of and very. We have appreciation for good and hot, and some judgment behaviors for beautiful and important. And on the left column, we also have some notes from Miss Lan to help our group to classify this group more clearer, more clearly. And move on to the language for creating cohesive text. We have Mekong Delta, Hậu River for the class and subclass, and we can see Cần Thơ and it, they are repeated mostly in the text. Okay, so that's all for our group's ideas about the groups of language. Yeah, thank
you very much. Great job. Okay, so everybody, please put a heart to the first group presentation, please. And the secretary, please take a snapshot for this beautiful moment. Everybody, please put a heart to them, to the first group presentation. All right, so while we are waiting for a snapshot. So one group from the high school and university, please. Which group volunteers to present? So can you recommend one group to present, please? The FACE and the secretary. Hello.
I would recommend group 4.
Group 4.
Group of Miss Hong Van.
Yes. Miss Hong Van, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry, sir. My Venice is not in not school, so repeat your question, please. Can you repeat your question?
Sorry, Hiền Hồ. So Hồng Vân from secondary school, Miss Hồng Vân from university.
From university, Miss Hong Van Lê.
Yeah, thank you, Vi Thị Hồng Vân. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, have got a presentation from secondary schools. Thank you for that. And Miss Hồng Vân Lê, please, my dear sister.
Sorry, Mr. Hương Lan, we are not really ready for the presentation.
Oh, really?
I'm
Okay.
so sorry. Yeah, we were not kind of very clear about what we needed to do, and so we did it in the very last minutes, and so we had a very short kind of response. So I don't think that, I think we should try to save the time for other groups which has a more complete discussion.
All right. So no worry.
Sorry.
And, yeah, the other group from high school and university. What do you want? Would you like to share with us? All right, so no worry. Now, in the next section,
we have group 1.
Group 1, yeah. Please. Okay, group 1, would you like to share? Okay, that's all right. Yes. Okay, so like I said, in the next section, we are going to have 2 demonstrations. One from the secondary school context, and the second is from the high school, and maybe it is similar to the university's context. Okay, so over to you, the moderator, to introduce the procedure.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much, Speaker Hương Lan. And dear participants, you have all joined the breakout rooms activity in which you are discussing some features of the reading text, and then also talk about some other things that you can apply the SFL genre-based pedagogy in teaching. So now I'd like to introduce, as the speaker has mentioned, 2 demo lessons. From the first one is from Miss Nguyễn Mỹ Lệ from Trần Hưng Đạo Secondary School. Miss Mỹ Lệ is now a teacher of English at Trần Hưng Đạo Secondary School, and she obtained an MA in linguistics from Huế Science University, and now she is a PhD student in linguistics at Da Nang University. And together with her is the co-presenters, Miss Phạm Hồng Nhung from TH Secondary School, and Miss Hồng Nhung has 10-year experience in teaching English, and she has a passion of attending many time and spending many time and attending many opportunities and we say also activities to update her language teaching skills. And also she is interested in cultural exchange and professional development. So now let's welcome 2 of them, and they will have the demo session. Thank you very much.
Okay, Miss Mỹ Lệ, unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. Thank you very much, Mrs. Mai Phương and Dr. Hương Lan so much. Now, warmly welcome the teachers attending to our webinar teaching today. Now, first of all, I'd like to wish you a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And so I'd like to demonstrate English 6 Global Success Review 1 on page 37. And so the companions with my demonstration is Miss Hồng Nhung, right, MATS school. And so the first of all, Miss Hồng Nhung will demonstrate first, okay?
Okay, good morning everyone. I'm so honored to be here, and I'm Hồng Nhung from TS School from Hanoi, and with Miss Mỹ Lệ from Trần Hưng Đạo Secondary School from Quảng Ngãi City will be the representative for the second and high school teacher to take the theory from Miss Hương Lan have presented as applied in how we teach for our junior students. So let's take one sample from the coursebook Global Success in this SIC, page 37 as an example. Okay, so for this unit objective, our student in grade 6 will like practice the skill to recognize some language features from in the life of theories Miss Hương Lan have presented to us, and from then on they will like improve their writing skill and produce a piece of skill by themselves. Okay. So our teaching procedure will follow in 3 phases or stages. From the first phase, which is where is teachers guiding and modeling in the construction section, and then the co-working between teacher and student in the part of joint constructions, and lastly the student independent individual work in the section of independent construction. Okay, so to warm up all, I want you to like please try to remember this, try to like revoke your thinking about the suitable word in the picture below may tell us. So 10 seconds for you to remember or to generate any words related to this picture, please.
Please check box, right? Give your idea and what can you see in the picture, and you give
okay, so 10 seconds for all of you to type the word may related to the picture into the chat box, please.
Oh yeah, good job. Yeah. Yes. Right, yeah, okay, good idea, great.
Morning meeting.
Meeting, yes, right. Students, teachers, uniform, okay. Monday meeting, good job, right.
Okay.
So any idea, teacher? Nice teacher, right.
Okay, so that's all linked to our text, our reading text today. So as we finish the warm-up game, who can tell me what is the topic or the purpose of the text we're gonna read about? So what our reading text about?
Yes.
What is the purpose of the text shown in the screen? Can you tell me, Miss Mỹ Lệ?
Yes. Destroys a school. Great idea. Right. Destroy a
that's
school.
Right.
Yes.
So
yeah.
our reading text is all about my school. So our junior students will write a piece of writing about our school.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Okay, you may look at the title of this text to get that the like purpose of the text, right? Okay, so how many states may you think out there to use for the describing this place? Okay, so how many states you may think out there to use for describing this place? 3. Okay, what else? What other number? What other people? You can tell me how many states we have just practice. So just give us the number 3. Okay. Who else? Okay. As instructed from Dr. Hương Lan. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So from the instruction from Dr. Hương Lan, we may find out like we have 2 stages to like deconstruction this reading text, right? And what the goal for each stage or each part in this reading text. You may get it, right? Okay, so also under the line of the theories Ms. Hương Lan presented to us, I confirm with all of you that it will be 2 stages. Okay, that's it, identification and description. Okay. Okay, so it's look like the introduction of the topic and the detailed body to describe that thing. Okay, so but it's totally much more clearer and specialized for the descriptive text genre. Okay. Okay, so this is the theories we have provided by Dr. Hương Lan. It's so valuable material you have to us. So and we will take a deeper look into the specific detail for each language feature in this description genre. Okay, so first the first thing for the language expressing
idea. All right. Yes. Thank you, so Mr.
Yes.
Hồng Nhung. All right, and thank you, the teacher. Interact very well. Okay, and this slide you can see the language for expressing idea. The topic is my school, so we can give us students about the language expressing idea about school. How about your school, and how what does it have, and so how many teachers are there, or how many students. And so in order that students will give the number and give a detail of about the school. For example, my new school is, all right, how is your new school? And so how many buildings does your school have? And so how many classrooms, how many classes, how many students, how many teachers? And so what are the teachers like? All right, and how about students? Okay, and so about the things you can ask students about yards. How is your school yard? And is there a good school? Okay, is your school in the near city center? All right, there are many questions for students to answer about the school. And after that,
Miss Whitley, please unmute yourself. Miss Whitley, please unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry. And so can you hear the first slide? All right, thank you. And this is the language for connecting ideas. All right, about school, you can use the connecting. For example, I like English, so I'm in the English lab. And I love my school because it is a good school. All right. Many connections to connect the simple sentence. All right. For connecting ideas, you use the language. Miss Nhung, can I control the slide? The next slide.
So excuse me, Miss Le, you are mute yourself again, so please unmute yourself so that we can hear you. It is okay. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Now the language for interaction, and you use the language of evaluation, submarketing, about effect, judgment, appreciation, and radiation. And so look at the color. You can know and what is the effect, judgment, appreciation, or radiation. From my school is a quite a place, not far, all right, or large, right? Good. That does mean appreciation about the school, about the clubs, about yes. And so you use judgment. That means you judge the people's behavior. So for example, most students are hardworking and kind, or they are all helpful and friendly. And appreciation does mean you just about things and phenomenon, but use quite a far large good. And radiation does mean sharpen or soften. You this year more, most, about, or that is refers to language of evaluation.
Miss Mila, you unmute yourself. Please unmute.
And that means technical. All right, sorry. Now the language for creating cohesive tests, and you use the language for example school in the textbook. You destroy school, so you can repeat many times and use many words. And the same school and the whole part relation, school, yard, buildings, club, as is a hierarchical relation. And there is a relationship between the school, teacher, or teacher or student. All right, and you use the words refers to the school.
Please unmute yourself, repeat. Okay.
Yes, no making. How will you do this? And this topic is about descriptive report. And so you ask the teacher, you ask the student, how is your new school? How far is it from your school from your school to the city center? It is far or near? Or how many buildings are there? Or how many buildings does your school have? And so how is your school year? And you want to know the numbers of classes, you can ask how many classes are there in your school. And so how many students are there in your school this year? All right. And so you want to know about personality of the students, you can ask what are most students like? And so you want to know the number of the teacher, you ask how many teachers does your school have? And so also you want to know the teacher's personality, you ask what are the teachers like? And there are many things surrounding in the school, and so you can ask does your school have a clubs, any clubs? And so you ask student how many clubs? And so so you can ask the student what subject do you like best, right? Why do you like English best, right? And so the student can answer the question and use convention. I love my school because it's a good school, right? And so this is also a zone this construction. So you can ask students, give you the keywords, and so the teacher can write on the board. For example, in the city center, 326, 1,000, hardworking, kind, 40, helpful, friendly, loves good. And in order to have the keywords, the students can write the whole sentence using the words on the board. For example, in the city center, and so they write the whole sentence. My new school is in a quiet place not far from the city center. Or love, good. The student can write the whole sentence using the words love or good. All right. I love my school because it's a good school. All right. Now another slide, so Miss New. Can you turn on? Now, and next, you can add some evaluation, right? In the city center, and so you want the student to understand more about how to write the descriptive report. And so you ask them about the, in order to know how understanding, all right? And so in the city center, my school is in the quiet place, not far from the city center. That is appreciation, and it has 3 buildings and a large yard. And this year, that means there are 26 and more than 1,000 students in my school. This year more it is graduation, and most students are hardworking and kind. That means you emphasize the student, you use most, that means graduation. The school has about 40 teachers about this also graduation. They are all helpful and friendly. Graduation, that means you emphasize about the school, about the year, about the student and the teacher, right? And so you also use a fact or appreciation or rushment, right? Now, thank you very much for attending and listening our demonstration. Right, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for Miss Phạm Hồng Nhung and Miss Nguyễn Mỹ Lệ for your sharing. I think that all of this is very practical and that the teachers can apply in their context. So now I'd like to invite one more demo sections from another teachers. So just wait a moment so that I can see my screen. Okay, so it's my honor to introduce Mr. Trần Đức Ánh, a teacher from Lê Hồng Phong Gifted High School, Nam Định Province. He is now an MA student at our university, Hanoi National University of Education, and he will give a kind of demo for the high school textbook and plan for applying the genre-based pedagogy. Now over to you, and let's welcome Mr. Đức Ánh. So Mr. Đức Ánh, please unmute yourself.
So, good morning, every member in the webinar. My name is Trần Đức Ánh. I'm from Lê Hồng Phong Gifted High School in Nam Định Province, and I have a vivid preference for teaching writing. And thank you, Ms. Lan, so much for giving me the chance to share with you my restricted experience in teaching writing based on the theories of SFL. First, when I started my teaching career about 10 years ago, I often use the process-based approach, which consists of various stages such as brainstorming, outlining, editing, and drafting, and publishing the final draft. And my student could understand the steps step by step. However, they couldn't grasp the feature of specific type of writing. And then when I have to train my student for the exam, I use a product-based approach, which emphasize on student copying teacher model in writing. It's good for the exam, but I think that is restricted my student creativity. And until recently, I know about genre-based approach, and I apply it into teaching writing. And genre-based approach in SFL, I think that is can make students understand the feature of different genre of writing, and with clear stages, they can apply it into their writing. So now we move to a sample lesson in the high school context. I think it's a little bit different from the context of teaching at lower secondary school. And this unit is designed for students of grade 10, unit 5 invention. And the objective of the unit is students write about the benefits of an invention. And I use a genre-based approach. First, the warm-up activity. In this part, students are asked to discuss which of the following device do you want to have and explain your choice. And then after students give their answer and explain their choice, the teacher can lead in the new lesson by emphasizing that the benefits of an earbud or the benefits of a speaker is very important when you choose a device. It's very important for you to talk about its benefits. And now we move to stage 1, the deconstruction stage. So first, the teacher will introducing the genre by asking students the question, where can you find the text about the benefits of a device in a letter, a diary, an advertisement, a school essay, or other type? And teacher can conclude that with the student, they can often find the text about the benefits of a device in school essay. And according to SFL term, it may be called an exposition genre, or student can call it an advantage essay. And then we have a task in a textbook, and this task can also be used in according to genre-based approach. A student will have to use a sentence A, B, or C to complete the sample text. And I let students do this text in group or in pair. And then after check student answer, we have a sample text here. And we use this text for the student to analyze. And student will analyze the text in 3 main groups. Group 1 focus on the organization of the text. Group 2 focus on the language of the text. And group 3 focus on the content of the text. So each group will have a 5 questions. In your own teaching context, the question here, the number of the question here can be changed so they can fit your school background. So after students answer all the text, they can exchange the result between the groups. And then teachers summarize the key feature of the genre. And then we move to stage 2, the joint construction. In this part, teacher jointly compose an essay together with the class about another device, the smartphone. And in this part, teacher have 2 important roles. The first one as a scribe. It means that teacher will write on the board student sentence. The second role is as a facilitator. When teacher give advice about grammar, structure, and vocabulary based on the feature of the genre. And teacher also support students when they cannot generate the idea by scaffolding activity. With the student, they discuss with their friend in group or in pair, and they write the introduction based on the sample text. They will also make sentence about the benefits of the smartphone, and they write the conclusion. And then they read their sentence aloud so that teacher can note them down on the board. It is the second stage. If the student cannot do the test smoothly, teacher can use some kind of scaffolding activity, such as teacher may ask students to list a verb to describe what a smartphone can do, and ask them to categorize the verb into different groups. For example, the entertainment, for communication, for education, or for information, and so on. And then student can write different sentences using the verb. At the end of stage 2, joint construction, and then we move to the last stage, the independent construction. In this part, students choose another device to write about its benefits, and students do their essay individually. However, students can also receive some support from the teacher when teacher observe the class, and student. When the student write, they focus on typical features of an advantage essay or an exposition essay, like in SFL term. And when the student, it's based on the length of the writing, the student can finish it independently at class, or they can rewrite it and edit their essay at home. And it's the end of stage 3, and it's also the end of my presentation today. So thank you for attending me.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mr. Đức Anh, for your very useful sharing. I think that will be very useful for the high school teachers in teaching the students not only read how to exploit the reading text, but also how to develop their writing skills as well. Okay, so dear participants, let me continue the webinar with the Q&A sections. So now it's time for the Q&A sections, and we are very happy to receive any questions from you. So you can type in the chat box, or if you are watching the live on Facebook, you can type the question in the Facebook, and then the secretaries will collect all of the questions and send to the presenters and the 3 facilitators here. So please wait for some minutes, and then we welcome all the questions from you. Thank you very much. So Ms. Hiền and Ms. Hương, please help us with the questions, if there are any from the audience. Thank you.
Yes, of course.
So in the chat box, I can see 2 questions, and I believe that the information in the webinar today has been very well presented. So most of the participants can understand it very clearly. So in the chat box, there are 2 questions. From teacher Hành Linh, she has a question for teacher Trần Đức Ánh. Do you think ESL, no, SFL is different and more effective from the traditional way of teaching writing?
Yes. So thank you for your question. First, of course, it's not ESFL, but it's a small part of ESL. It's a genre-based approach in teaching writing, and it's a different from other approach. I don't use the word traditional here, because I think that we don't have the old or the new or the modern method. We only have the method that can fit, that is appropriate for my own teaching context. So it's based on the context of your teaching. You can choose, but I have to emphasize that the genre-based approach can fit very well in the new textbook.
Thank you for your answer. And the second question is that from Ms. Nguyễn Thị Trang, she understands that the genre-based method is used for writing only. Is that right?
Okay, so from my presentation and also from the demonstration from teachers, we can see that this approach may apply for students to learn writing through reading, but it doesn't mean that you only apply this approach to teaching reading and writing, but you can apply it in, also in understanding the text, listening text, and also in your speaking. Like in the model I have just presented, we have 2 communication mode. It is written and spoken. Yeah. Okay. So thank you for your question.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Hương Lan and Mr. Trần Đức Ánh, for your answers. And I think that all the participants are very happy when they can hear your answer. So now we still have some more minutes for the Q&A questions. Yeah, so we just wait for some more minutes, and if you have any questions, don't be hesitant to type it in the chat box.
All right, so while we are waiting for the question, I can find a comment in the chat box. Someone say, oh, for the school text demonstrated by Miss Mỹ Lệ and Hồng Nhung, they say that there are 3 parts, not 2 parts. So what do you think, Miss Mỹ Lệ and Miss Hồng Nhung? Very interesting point. Okay, thank you for that, teacher. You raised a very important point. Yes.
So I also like think that is the like initial for us to deeper researching. And Dr. Hương made you like willing to help us to take more deeper research on that.
Okay, yes. All right. Okay, yes, good. So actually, you just based on the framework as a foundation. So in the text in your textbook, you may see for example, the school text, you can divide it into 3 parts, like the teacher has just raised. Why? Because for the first one, okay, you identify the school. It is your school you want to describe. And then the second, you describe the school. And for the third one, the student gives the attitude and evaluation to the student in a separate part. So it has a 3 parts, not the 2. For the demonstration section, the evaluation is included in the description part. But for your text, it is a separate part. So you are right. Thank you very much, the teacher that raised that point. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr.
Okay.
Hương.
Do you raise that point? So you want to unmute yourself and say something? No? Yeah. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Hương Lan. And I can find some comments in the chat box. When one teacher says that she finds teaching writing easier, and then I think that not only this teacher but also other teachers can learn a lot from the presentations of the speaker and the facilitators today. And yeah, maybe we have one more question here. Yeah, in the chat box.
Yeah, and from Helen, the question is there any difference between genre-based approach and task-based approach? Maybe I would like to invite Dr. Hương Lan to answer this question.
Very interesting question. Okay, so as you can see easily, our textbook now is developed based on the task-based learning. And here, maybe you can see the similar things like the task and the stages. It is difficult to say whether it is the same or different, but the similar things is that the student can write through the processes of doing a certain task. Yes. Do you satisfy with my answer? And thank you for that. Thank you for your question. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Hương Lan, for the questions. Sorry for the answers of yours. Yeah, thank you very much. And Ms. Hồng Vân said that the approach is very useful for her. Yeah, and thank you. Yeah. So are there any questions from the chat box from Facebook, Mr. Ngân Vũ?
No.
Yeah, thank you very much. So I think that the presenters have made a very clear and useful presentation with a lot of information and the things that the teachers can apply in their teaching context. So dear participants, after webinar 13, it will be provided with more references for the follow-up reading and practicing. So if you have any further questions, feel free to post them on our webinar forum on the digital websites. So this brings me nicely to the summary of webinar 13, and you have just heard the sharings and suggestions from our speaker and the facilitators, as well as the discussion about the topic today. So once again, thank you very much, Dr. Nguyễn Thị Hương Lan, the facilitators, Ms. Nguyễn Mỹ Lệ, Ms. Phạm Hồng Nhung, and Mr. Trần Đức Ánh. Okay.
All right. Sorry, just a final words to the student, to the participant, please. Thank you, Dr. Mai. Yes. So just the conclusion. Yes. Can you see my slide now?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So just final words for the webinar today. So in the context of implementing one curriculum and multiple textbook, the first time we do that, hopefully this approach offers an innovative language teaching method to help teachers teach confidently, providing a more systemic and scientific rationale for teaching any textbook they are assigned to teach. And thank you very much for your attention and Happy New Year to you all. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hương Lan, for summarizing and also having a very important message for the participants. Yeah, so now thank you very much for all the participants for taking part in webinar. And now our secretaries, Ms. Hiền Hồ and Ms. Hương Vũ, will send the link of the survey for proving your attendance of the webinar in the chat box in the Zooms and also on the Facebook fan page. So Ms. Hiền and Ms. Hương, can you help us with that? And after completing the proof of attendance and feedback survey, you will be eligible for an electronic certificate. So please save the link and do it until 5 p.m. today so that you can have the electronic proof of attendance and certificate. And once again, thank you very much for all of you to spend your time today. And I hope that you and your family will be safe, healthy, and very happy, although we are in a kind of very new normal condition facing with the coronavirus. So could you please turn on your camera so that we can have the picture together, the photos. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Miss Hiền, please take the photos and please count 1, 2, 3 before we take the photos.
Everybody, please turn on your camera.
Yes.
Take a nice shot to post on the fan page of VTSO. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more picture for the second. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you at upcoming webinars. Thank you and goodbye. Yeah, enjoy your lunch.
Yes, thank you. Goodbye. So lovely teacher. Right.